Are you a business owner looking to grow your business in South Africa? Tune in to the Blaze Podcast with Telkom Business. Learn from the experts and get tips on marketing, finance, innovation, and more. Blaze with Telkom Business.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Telkom Business Blaze Podcast, where we sometimes, like today, bring you the brightest minds and the biggest personalities shaping the digital and entrepreneurial landscape. I'm your host, Mashiru Mudau, and today we have a guest who's not only a trailblazer in the world of social media, but also a master of turning his online presence into a sustainable business empire. Our guest today is none other than Lasizwe Dambuza. Many of you know him as a hilarious and relatable personality behind some of South Africa's most viral social media content. But Lasizwe is much more than just an entertainer. He's a savvy digital entrepreneur and a Telkom brand partner. In today's episode, we'll dive into how Lasizwe has structured his brand, the strategies he's used to build a sustainable business from his influence, and the inspiration behind Awkward Dates, the show where he takes on the world of blind dating with a comedic twist. So sit back, relax, and get ready for an inspiring conversation. Lasizwe, you've had an incredible journey in the entertainment industry. Can you share with us how you got started, but also what inspired you to be a global superstar and a winning media personality?
I love when you're like global superstar because I am a global
Exactly.
superstar. Thank you. How I started was 7 years ago, when social media wasn't a thing. I was so big on auditions, and the main purpose and the main goal was to be on TV. Whether I'm a presenter, whether I'm an actor or a background, what. As long as I am on TV.
Yeah.
Went to all the auditions and I got the no's. I've never had an audition till this day, you know. I've never gotten an audition rather, you know, or a call back or whatever it may be till this day. Then I started uploading myself on Facebook. Actually, I started on Facebook and using my mom's laptop, the webcam. Then one day I remember winning a phone on a radio show competition.
Yeah.
And I started filming myself, you know, stealing my mom's wigs there and there, you know, because she was just not for it. And one day I went viral. There was a clip called Exaldumio, where the pastor was spraying pesticide on the congregants' faces.
Yeah.
And that clip went viral where I was like, Exaldumio, if you come with negativity, I will doom you. And that's where my journey started, being who I am today.
We had such a great intro for you and sort of all the different roles that you play. But what's the term that you sort of relate to yourself, right? There's creator, there's influencer, there's, you know, all these different terms. What's the one that you feel like is the right one for you? But also, where does that come from?
Sure, I think that is such a very good question. I get that question a lot because people don't know where to box me. You know, 7 years ago, the term creator or influencer wasn't a thing. You know, in the time when I started, I was boxed around vlogging, vlogger, YouTuber, whatever it may be, and at that time, you had to find a way to break into traditional media. So I love to be referred as a global superstar media personality, but in short, a media personality.
Yes. Yes. You know, you've gone beyond just like making stuff for just the internet to building out a brand.
Yes.
What does that look like from day one and that process up until now?
From day one till the process till now, it's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and just trialing and testing and figuring out what works. And the reason why I say this is because I seek isikolo sobu influencer, ayikho university bu content creating. There's no modules around building a business around social media presence, or whatever it may be. Maybe in the future there'll be, but for now, it's literally just thumb sucking and just figuring out as you go what works. Remember, when you are now an online personality, you are servicing people with your personality, you know? And one thing about people, we're mammals of habit. And over time, we get bored. And when we get bored, we then decide that we're going to look for something else. And that's the problem with being an online personality, is that in that boredness, what do you do? How do you create yourself? How do you reinvent yourself? How do you show that you're not just a one-trick pony, or one-dimensional? How do you show that I can be a YouTuber, I can be a reality show star,
Yeah.
I can be a host, I can be an actor, all of those things that you need to learn, but you need to learn in such a short space of time.
You're talking about all these different hats that you have to wear in
Yeah.
order to make these things happen. How important is being multi-talented, multifaceted, and having enough skills to understand, what works, what doesn't, and building out to be more than just, content, but to become a business and building a community?
Sure, like that's a very broad question, but I'll answer it the best way I know how to. There is a fine line between talent and skill and just doing it for the passion, because people usually mistaken being famous or an online personality or influencing as a get quick money scheme, get rich quick money scheme rather. And in that perspective, you then see who frizzles out in the long run. Because when you are in my position, there's a lot of things that you need to put into consideration. You mentioned building a community. You mentioned building a fan base. You mentioned a lot of things that play such a crucial role in making sure that you build I almost said building a longevity. Basically, building a long sustaining brand.
Yeah.
And that can be translated in many ways, where you can be seen as an entrepreneur, as a business head, as someone who can be a strategist and someone who can sit in meetings and see things from a different perspective. So there's a lot of hats that you need to wear, yes, but you need to understand why you're doing it. Because in this day and age, everyone is just doing it because it's easy, it's quick, and there's money and whatever it may be, and there's no soul attached to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you, make sure that you keep inspired, and what's that soul that you're drawing from in order to keep doing the work?
I think the most important thing for me is family.
Yeah.
Grounding yourself with things that you are familiar with, things that you grew up with, and just your surroundings. When you're in my space, a lot of things change so quickly. The people, the environments, the people you work with, you even get exposed to things that in a normal world takes time for you to get there and to earn. That's why there's something called the corporate ladder.
Yeah.
But when you are a public figure or a media personality, there's no such thing as a corporate ladder. Like tomorrow you can meet the CEO, tomorrow you can meet the president, and in that's not normal. That is a culture shock, and in that causes you to sit back and say, okay, now I am extraordinary, I'm better than everybody, and all of these things. I want to associate with the rich and etc. All of these things, and you lose your core self. And for me, it's always knowing how to come back to your roots, what works, who's there for you in your corner, and who is you.
Yeah. You're talking about possibly losing yourself in all of this. How important does authenticity and remaining true to yourself be in the process of trying to build these things?
Authenticity is very important, but in this day and age, I feel like everyone is now leaning towards authenticity because of how loosely it's used and said. Like everyone says, be yourself, be yourself. But we don't really know what it's like to be ourselves, because we seek inspiration from people we see online, on TV, etc., or influencers around. So for me, that question is very indifferent for me, because I don't know, authenticity is like, it's a second nature for me. It's like if you step into a room, why do you need to change yourself for someone else just to get what you need? Just be yourself.
Yeah, I think it speaks to how powerful you've used your softness.
Yes.
To be able to build this massive community of people who are just like, I love this person and how they express themselves and the things that they do and the work that they put out.
Thank you.
There's those positives, but how do you navigate the negatives or the more challenging side of the digital space, where maybe things are not so good, or the reception of the content is different or indifferent even? How do you navigate that?
Oh, I cry, hey. Oh
Yeah.
my God, yo, nyakala. Yes, Ceci. Oh my Lord, yo, nyakoa. Like you go wisha through a lot. And I think maybe it's just because of who I am. I believe in star signs. I'm a Cancer. So anything that is just negative and directed towards me in a negative light will impact me emotionally, and I will embrace my emotions. So how I navigate that is I go right through it. Like I do not shy away from the different stages that I will go through negatively. I just jump in. Hey, like if I see that okay, there's a huge storm coming up,
Yeah.
and it's a storm that's full with negativity, I head straight into it, and
Yeah.
you embrace yourself in it, and you weather it. And that's
Yeah.
how I navigate it. And yes, it will be ugly,
Yeah.
but the storm will subside eventually.
That's true. You know, going back to more sort of the business end of things.
Yeah.
You're one of Telkom's brand partners. Can you
Yes.
talk about how that partnership came about, but also what your experience of it has been so far?
Yo, Telkom. We have been working, I think now it's like year 3. Oh my God, it's year 3. Year 3
Where
or
does the
4?
time go?
I know, where has the time gone? It was during the time when Telkom was experimenting with brand partners and just kind of building a family. I think they were more keen on just like building a sustainable family that they know that they can just know that they've got their backs for the longest of years. You know, I hope that was the main goal. And I got the email, and they were basically asking me of just my alignments. What do I believe in, and what do I want to do? What are my brand plans? What do I see in the future, in essence? And I responded, and we had the meeting, and it was just a match made in heaven. You know, say Team Blue. You know,
Of course.
it connects SA. Like, you know, even just what the messaging stands for. Like they say Telkom connects South Africa. For me, it's like Lasizwe connects, you know, South Africa. Like I connect to people. I make sure that people are happy. I just want to connect to your emotions. I want to trigger those emotions in you that will just leave you feeling good. And those are the certain qualities that Telkom has.
Yeah.
So how it's been really, really fruitful, really amazing, and I'm really grateful with the people that I work with, especially within the brand, and how the brand understands my brand and how I understand their brand. I want to emphasize on how important it is to collaborate with brands that just are not about pushing their vision and mission through you, but meeting you halfway and understanding your vision and mission and what you stand for, and how we can come together organically and not even just like paid media, you know, organically. How can we just, you know, align ourselves with your brand so that it's just effortless? And that's how I've partnered up with Telkom.
And that's such an important and critical part of, you know, people that are navigating this digital space.
Yeah.
You know, do you think the audience and the community that you're building can tell, you know, where you might not necessarily have that alignment?
Yeah.
But also, you know, how do you gain the strength, the confidence, the conviction to say, I'm not touching this?
Yeah.
Because my
I
values
know.
do not align. And you want that natural alignment to be so clear.
It takes time, you know, and it really takes time for you to understand what you can touch and what you can't touch. And in the beginning, it's very important for you to understand what are your true values and cause and what you like and what you don't like in order to navigate certain brands, because there are certain brands that will approach you and say, hey, I've got this amount of money that I would like to invest in you. And in exchange, we want you to wear our product. We want you to promote our product. We want you to be our product. But you then sit back and you think to yourself that, in my everyday life, when I wake up, do I use this product? You know, and that you then see the clash. You then see the, oh my God, when you turn on your phone and you have to do a story or you have to do a campaign or a video, before you even start, you have to take a deep breath in and eye roll like, oh my God, here we go.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so let me tell you.
And now it's a performance.
And it's
like
a performance.
You're in
and you just, after you're done recording, you're like, right? And you know what's worse?
Yeah.
After that performance, you submit that video for review, right? And you say, hi, can you do it again? Or can you like tweak it there and there? And that's the part that many people feel like, oh my God, I need this campaign to end. Oh my God, like, oh my Lord, I don't want this. And what when you partner up with a brand that speaks your language and understands you? Mamela, we are flow nje, puma nje, like water, you get.
Yeah, like
and even when they like, please do changes there and there, it's not even critique, it's feedback.
Yeah.
And that's the power about like collaborating with people that make sense with you, because you're like, oh, the reason why you want this change is because it fits this message and you're trying to look out for me and this is this and that and that.
Yeah.
And you're just like, okay, like I can change this now. And you send it even now, you edit it now and it's done.
You know, you're talking about how important to have the values aligned with the brands. And with Telkom specifically, you're also involved in some very impactful work.
Yeah.
Can you talk more about the National University Drive?
Oh, my baby. The National University Drive was so beautiful. Like, it was amazing how it came about. So I every month, you know, I love going in, sitting down with the Telkom team and understanding just the vision, the mission, the direction of the month, the theme for the month, what we want to do. And I believe that they were pushing some promo about phones and special, basically it's a social bundle that they were trying to push. And if you buy like this phone on contract, And I was like, guys, like, that phone, there's someone that really, really wants it and can't afford it, you know, and how it would be so cool to gift someone that really needs this phone and could change their life forever. And I went to I think they had partnered up with Ackermans or something. Telkom had partnered up with Ackermans. And I went into Ackermans and I bought the phone with my own money. And I was like, okay, cool. I want to buy this phone. And then they were like, okay, cool, I'm buying it. And I called Telkom, like, okay, I bought the phone. This product works. I love it. Because also I love participating in the products, ensuring that like I know what I am promoting or pushing, whatever it may be. I bought the phone. And then I bought the Telkom SIM card. I loaded it up, all of these things. And then I told my team on the day, I was like, guys, we need to go to a university. We don't know how, we don't know where, we don't know where to start, who to call, but we'll figure out when we get there. We got there, we started asking, hey guys, do you know anyone who really needs a phone? And of course there were chances. Nah, chummy. Yeah, phone, yeah,
Just looking for an upgrade.
Exactly, no, guys. And we then met there, I think it's the SRT, and they showed us, they took us to the student that literally, like today was their last day, like in Joburg. Like they were planning on going back home. They didn't have money, they didn't have anything. And when I gave that young man that phone, like, I don't know what happened that day. Like literally, when we handed over the phone, his NSFAS bursary kicked in. Accommodation kicked in. Like everything just yahlangana. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how it gave birth to just the national tour. We went to Durban, we were giving away laptops. And just seeing those students' faces just light up and just realizing that, oh my God, like, you know, Lasizwe and Telkom has got my back.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's not just about us always buying airtime, buying data bundles, they're taking our money. They're actually really looking out for us and they really want the best for us, because technically, if they do well, we all do well. You know, if someone does bad, all of us does badly. So it's a win-win situation, and that's how I always view life, is that how can I help and impact someone so that their life can be better and they can better their families' lives, so that they can better the community's lives, and from the community they can impact the area, which then the area does well, impacts South Africa, and South Africa does well, Africa, the world, then it goes to the global, where I am.
Yes, the global superstar, doing the global impact. You know, just checking back to how you started and how you used your mom's laptop with the webcam. And, you know, you won a phone on a radio show, right? Like, you think about how important technology has been in your journey, and like just being enabled either by your family or like the universe with the laptop, with the phone.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder if you think about the impact that's going to happen with you giving technology to people who need it and can actually use it to better their lives as well.
You know, sometimes when people like you tell me this, I get goosebumps.
Yeah.
Because people always ask me like, how would you feel when like what you're doing impacting everybody with the technology and all of these things, like, how do you feel? I'm not feel, you know. I'm just like, I don't know, maybe it's a calling.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like who I am, or maybe it's just like my background or my where I come from. I really don't know. And I'm okay with not knowing because I feel like this is my journey and this is who I am. And I love just ensuring that like just the little people that are around that I can help and what we can do. Like what can we do? It's like even the time when I raised 2 million rand in 5 days,
Yeah.
you know, that for me wasn't just about just me, you know. If it wasn't for the uproar for the fees must fall situation, you know, what could have happened?
Yeah.
Like I would have not been motivated or inspired, you know. And yeah,
Yeah.
I'm giving Oprah.
You are. You know, another place that you maybe don't give Oprah, but definitely yourself in the most
Yeah.
amazing way is the YouTube show Awkward Dates, right? And you're obviously on the other side of this
Yes.
interaction usually, right?
Yes.
How did the concept come about, but also like what's that journey been like for you?
Awkward dates, my gosh. I call awkward dates my miracle baby. The reason why I call it my miracle baby, I was going through a very, very tough, dark time in my life. It was during a time when I had to admit myself to a mental wellness center for 21 days. 21 days. And then after 21 days, I was like, I don't want to go back to this world. This world is cruel. Like, oh my God, like, keep me in here. And then I went to a retreat for like 2 weeks just to like, kind of also just get used to just like people and like meditate, learn all of these things. And I came out and I then sat with myself that like, how do I go back to YouTube, something that I loved, something that I treasured, something that brought so much joy to me and peace and happiness. And at the time, YouTube became something so vile, something so cold, something so, sure. Like it turned on me, you know, because the people that were now on the platform were on the platform for the wrong reasons. Then I was watching a show called Chicken Shop Date.
Yeah.
It's by Amelia. She's based in the UK. And I resonated with Amelia a lot. I loved how awkward she is. I loved how she's like me, you know, like I sometimes, you know, sometimes, something new. I sometimes feel like I'm not a media personality. I'm not a celebrity. I am a human being. I've got feelings, I've got emotions, and I would love those feelings and emotions to be considered. And how many other celebrities feel like that? How many other media personalities feel that like people just know me for my role on TV? People know me just for my music. I wish people could just know that my favorite color is red. I wish people could just know that when I sleep, I snore, you know? And that's how Awkward Dates was born. I watched Amelia. She goes on dates with global superstars. And I was like, I want to be inspired. I took that as inspiration. And on that idea, created my own, made it better, and just, you know, decided that, you know, let's open it up to South Africa, Africa, manifesting the world.
Of course.
And get just our media personalities on the show and to see them in a different light, you know? Yeah.
You know, when you've built something like that and now completely an amazing success, right?
Thank you.
When do you know it's working?
Yes.
And like where you say, okay, yes, event. Like,
Yeah.
no, I can see it. Like we might have started this by testing to see,
Yes.
but now it's working.
How you know it's working is a feeling. You know, it's not about the numbers. It's not about people always coming to you and saying, oh, well done on Awkward Date, it's such a success. Wow. Ah, da, 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 da. It's not that. It's a feeling. It's a feeling when someone can wake you up at 2 a.m. in the morning and say, we're shooting. And you don't hesitate. You don't go, oh, I'm sleeping, oh, I'm tired. You go, let's go, lights on, camera, action, let's go. Welcome to Awkward Dates, baby, you know? So that's when you know that, like, it's a success.
Thank you so much for that, right? And, you know, when we started talking about Awkward Days, but also the journey that you had to going, you know, I want to go back to YouTube specifically.
Yeah.
How differently do you think about these different platforms, right? Like it's YouTube, it's TikTok, it's Facebook, it's Instagram, Snapchat. I'm too old now for Snapchat, but like, I don't know if like people are still Snapchatting.
Yes.
But how do you think about these different platforms and the contribution they make to the brand that you're building?
I think each platform serves a different purpose and a different platform. I think the moment you start understanding who is who in the zoo, especially when it comes to the different platforms, you then know how to navigate the platform very well. The reason why I say this is because on Facebook, you'll find that Facebook is very family orientated. There's your father, there's your uncle, there's your cousins, there's family photos of you when you were still a kid. There's photos of you in high school. You know, those, Facebook is very, what's the word?
Do you know what I always say?
Yeah.
Facebook is like visiting the village.
Yes, yes. It's very sentimental.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like you just want to go in there to check.
Nishakhona,
Ni righty. Okay, we need to check. Nisakhona. Okay, sharp. And all of those platforms serve a different purpose, and you need to find out within yourself, with those platforms, what are you catering for? What are you doing so that you can cater for those platforms? Because in nowadays, people just want to cross-pollinate content. And they think that it's going to resonate everywhere. You'll find that you'll cross-pollinate content. On TikTok, it will do well, but on Facebook, it will do terrible. The reason being is that TikTok is like fast fashion. It's fast consumed content. We are on the go. As not TikTok, we want to laugh, get over it, get something that we can talk
like,
about.
Let's move.
Yes.
Let's go.
Like right now, we're very demure.
Yeah.
Very demure, very mindful.
Very cutesy.
Very cutesy.
Yes.
Yes. To me, it's demure.
I don't even know.
You get. So those are the conversations that we're having now. It's like,
Yeah.
it's demure, it's cute, it's not. Like, that's where we are. Then
Yeah.
Instagram, aesthetic. You wanna look good. You want to be on holiday. You want to show the best side of yourself. And that's okay. Because people these days want to talk about Instagram and say, oh, Instagram is fake. Oh, this. Hey, Instagram keep billboard. This is where you show, my man was marketer.
Yeah,
This is where you must show
for
the
sure.
best side of you, my child. You must show that you are living life, fabulous. Mamela,
Yeah.
Then you have X, which is Twitter. That's conversation starter, where you want to create a conversation or you want to troll or whatever it may be. So pick your poison and stick to it.
I like that you said poison because social media can sometimes feel like that.
Yes.
What advice would you give someone who's navigating this digital space and wants to build a sustainable brand like you?
The best advice sounds very generic, right? But just know why you're doing it. You know, just know why you're doing it. Just be clear with your intentions on why you want to be a social media personality. You want to build a brand on social media. That's the best advice I can give you. Just know why you want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, earlier you spoke about just like challenges with mental health and like taking the break and doing the best things that are good for your wellness, right? What pressures does it come with to be in the public eye or, you know, be completely known by so many people? And how do you now manage your mental health?
Sure. Pressures are just pressure-wise on just that note. People want to see you perfect. People want to see you not have problems. People want to see you as some sort of idol, inspiration, some sort of, you know, higher power, so that they can also see you as I can also get there because Lasizwe got there type of situation. And that sometimes can be mentally draining and frustrating because you're not aware of the many meetings I go into where I get the no's, or I see that this is not working, or something fails, or I lose something, or I lose money, all of those things, And in that, it hurts that I can't share that with you, that I'm currently struggling or I'm going through this, because it will be turned into a mockery. I remember I went public about selling my car. And sure, I have never seen people divided, Firstly, there's nothing wrong with selling your car.
No.
Like, what if I'm selling my car because I want to get another car?
Yeah.
What if I'm selling my car because I can't afford my car?
But people on X are probably like, economic indicator.
Yes. Yiki entertainment industry. Sekai certificate. Exactly. So that was the first time seeing people divided and seeing people's opinions affect me really, really much. But the beauty about it is the tools and the things that I've been exposed to in regards to maintaining and making sure that my mental health is above that critical point. And what I do is every year, I check myself in. It's so important. Like, it is so important to check yourself in. Because when you check yourself in, you then realize that, they're not as massive as other people. There's people out there that are going through so much. People are seeing dust every single day. But they wake up and try again and again and again. So what is making your problem or your issue bigger than other people's problems?
Yeah.
So, try again. You get, but
I love that phrase so much. It's just like, hey,
Mugeli, So for me, when life gets tricky and tough, I just pack my bags, I go into a retreat or a wellness center for a week. I'll just be in harmony, in space where there's water. I love water. I love just being with my thoughts. Because in spaces like that, you're not allowed to have your phone, hey? Like, I don't know if you know what Ngotega is. Like, you then see good, you're actually quite addicted to your phone, eh?
Yeah.
Like, you can't keep yourself entertained for the whole day.
Yeah.
And that's what I do.
I've really appreciated this conversation, just like being wide-ranging, you know, and like getting to know you and the work that you're doing and how consciously you think of social media and the stuff that you're working on. What does the future look like for brand Lasizwe?
Oh my God, for brand Lasizwe, firstly, that's pretty much it, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, are you building in silence?
No, not really. I don't believe in like what does the future hold in you, because I live in a very weird world in my head. You are living in the future. You are the future. If I decide tomorrow to be a prime minister, I'm gonna be a prime minister.
Yes.
If I want to wear exactly, if I want to decide tomorrow that I'm going to wear mpurampura, you know what mpurampura?
I actually don't.
Mpurampura is when you're wearing graduation gown.
Yes.
Mpurampura there. That's
Okay.
yes. If I decide today and I sit down and I say, what are my plans in the future? I want to wear mpurampura. I want to name stage.
I really hope people feel this energy of like self-belief and conviction.
Thank you.
In building what they really believe in and care about. So as a last question, what is one thing that you know now, as a person that has millions of people online and constantly creating really amazing work, what is something that you know now that you wish you knew the day that you switched on your mom's computer and tried to do this with a webcam, or the day that you won a phone on radio? What is one thing that you wish you knew then?
People are not stupid. Yeah. People are not stupid. That's one thing I wish I knew from the beginning of when I started doing the webcam and all of these things. Because the reason why I say that is that I've done many mistakes, publicly. Like the house thing, all of these things. Hey, my relationships. Hey. Pelile, man. So people are not stupid. People can see through a lot of things. People can see through the fake smile that you'll have, and just the oh guys, my life is perfect. People can see that you're going through something. There's something you're going through. People can see.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I wish I was aware about, Guti. Just be real and honest. We all can see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really appreciated this. I think I'm not just inspired, I actually learned a lot, especially about this digital space and this like really building out the things that you care about, the communities that you're trying to affect, but also being true to self. Like that's such a powerful line for me about this. Thank you so much.
Period.
Of course. And that wraps up today's episode of the Telkom Business Blaze podcast. A massive thank you to Lasizwe for joining us and sharing his journey of turning a social media persona into a thriving business empire. It's clear that with passion, creativity, and the right strategies, it's possible to build something truly impactful in the digital age. As always, thank you for tuning in. And until next time, keep blazing your own trail in the world of digital and entrepreneurial innovation. I'm Mashuru Madao. Take care.